It's just a little bit of professionalism, too much to ask. I mean, just a little. Greetings, people of the internet. I'm Scott with Serkworks Art Labs. Welcome, mad creators, to the underground laboratory where we create robots, aliens, zombies, and other imminent threats to humanity. And yeah, that's what I do. That's what I do for a living. That's what I do as a professional. So I thought I'd talk a little bit about being a professional and some things that people do that might not come across as so professional. So I wasn't sure if I should do this video. This is something that's becoming more prevalent. It seems to happen a lot. It happens to me, and it's a little specific to my situation. Possibly you, if you're doing YouTube videos or whatever. So I wasn't sure if I wanted to get into it, but then I thought, this speaks to, a larger issue that I think anyone that wants to, make a living doing art, that this can relate to, and it's just something we should all think about, or not even art, just if you want to be a professional, there are things that you should do or should not do to maintain a level of professionalism. And what do I mean by that? Well, things like being responsive, meeting deadlines, being somebody that people would like to work with. These are very important. They're probably more important than the art itself. Or again, this isn't necessarily, most of the people that follow me are artists, but this goes with anything. I think being professional in these traits are, important across the board. So this is what I want to talk about. So what am I getting at? So as you know, I am here on YouTube. I do YouTube videos. I don't have a huge following, but I have somewhat of an audience. It's small, but I still do. I receive a little bit of money from like AdSense and affiliate programs, and sometimes people come to me asking if I could do like product reviews or maybe a sponsorship or something. It doesn't happen a lot, but it happens every once in a while. And sometimes I do these, and sometimes the product really doesn't fit, and then I have to say no, it's not the right thing for me. The important thing for me for like product reviews or sponsorships is that one, it fits my brand, and two, that it provides value for my audience. So I was approached, this is a while back, I was approached by a company called Superhero Stuff. Now I've seen them at comic conventions. They're at a lot of the big comic conventions and everything, but they sell like licensed, like superhero merch and stuff like that, most like the big two stuff and everything. So they approached me and saying that, they like the channel and everything, and that they wanted to do a partnership. They would like to send me some samples, and we could do sort of a collaboration on a video and everything like that. So I'm thinking, well, yeah, how can I make this work? Because I don't really do a lot of like superhero fan art. I mean, I'm a fan of that kind of stuff, but I don't really do it on the channel. So I'm trying to think, well, there's an opportunity here, and I definitely know my audience would like this, would like to get something from this company because they're comic book fans for the most part. But I was trying to figure out, how do I work that, into sort of my brand? So I thought about it a little bit. I'm like, you know what? I was digging through some old drawings that I did as a kid, and you may see where I'm going with this if you're familiar with the channel. But I thought, it might be fun to redesign some of these old characters. So, give them kind of a modern spin and everything. So I thought, well, yeah, this could work really well. I think I could tie this in with the whole superhero theme, and maybe they have a number of products or whatever that they were willing to send over to help promote and do this collaboration video or whatever. So I just I emailed him back, and I said, I think I've got something that will work for this. I'm thinking about redesigning some of these superheroes I did as a kid, and I think it could tie in. And I know you've got like these mystery boxes. I mean, that might be a good thing, and we could even do it as a series. We'll announce one and we'll give one away and everything. So I thought about it, and I came up with some ideas and everything like that, and emailed them back about this. So yeah, I mean, I put together a nice proposal, sent it off to them, and I didn't hear anything back. So I'm like, okay, so a week rolls around, and I send back another thing, and kind of reiterate what I talked about and everything, and yeah, still nothing. No response at all. Now keep in mind that they solicited me. It's not like I was like approaching them saying, hey, can you send me some stuff? I'd like to do a video and all this stuff. No, they contacted me, you know, said they liked the videos I was doing and everything, that they wanted to do a video, you know, all this stuff. And so I took the time and I came up with because like I said, I had to figure out, I put thought into like these videos and how it works and everything. It's not just like, it's not like anyone that comes to me like, oh, can you show my thing? No, it's like, I've got to figure out how it works. So I took some time to do that and didn't hear anything back. So, then I kind of just went on and everything and doing other things. And, you know, it was like 6 months later, whatever, got to the point where, you know, I'm like, I want to do this video series with me remodeling some of these old characters that I did. And so I thought, well, I'll give it one more shot. Still got the contact person's name and everything. I'll send back, tell them, hey, I'm getting ready to roll with this. I think this would be a good opportunity. I mean, I put a lot of, you know, try to put a lot of production value into my videos and everything. And that's the thing. That's the thing about these videos. Even for a smaller creator like me, it is a benefit to a larger company to have somebody put together a video, because if you were going to pay somebody to do a commercial or something, and keep in mind, sometimes television commercials don't even reach, even with a small audience, small YouTube audience, sometimes television commercials don't even reach the audience that YouTube can. So even with a small audience, for somebody to take the time and put together a video promoting your product and featuring your product and kind of working it in and getting to their audience, because sometimes a small audience can be a dedicated audience. So there's value there, even if you're not like a huge YouTuber. But anyway, so I kind of went through everything I said and sent it back off, and still, you know, crickets. So you know, it's just a weird thing, because what I'm starting to realize is that, because this has happened since then, I'll get into some other instances, but I think people just send out these just sort of blanket emails, and then when people come back, then they'll look, and then maybe they'll look at my subscribers and they say, yeah, well, maybe he's not big enough for us. But why did you send the email in the first place? Because here's the thing. I mean, maybe you don't want to waste your time doing the research up front, but I'm sitting here, you're wasting my time. I'm coming up with an idea how to make this thing, make it into a video. I'm putting time into that, and for you, like, just to flat out ignore me and not even respond saying, look, you know, yeah, we can't do it right now, or yeah, we've decided we need people with bigger audience or something. Give me an explanation, all right? Now, before doing this video, I debated whether or not I should actually call these companies out by name and everything, and you know, I wasn't sure if I should do that or not. But then I thought about it, and you know, we live in the age of like the Yelp review and the Amazon review, so it's important for companies to be proactive about their brands and represent their brand in a positive way, and this just is not a good thing. So if this is the way they want to be portrayed, then I don't really have a problem letting you know who they are and everything. Now, I mean, it's totally your call. You can shop from this company or whatever. That's all on you. But for me, like, they had a product that I kind of wanted. It was this Captain America hoodie that I really liked, and I had been looking at it at the conventions and everything. I was like, you know, I think I'm gonna buy that. And then this whole thing went down, like, you know what, I don't know if I want to do that, because if that's how they approach people that they want to partner with, and if this is sort of the, you know, this lack of correspondence that they have, what's going to happen if I buy the product and I have an issue with it? If I email them about it and say, you know, I got a problem, can I return it or something, or whatever, are they just going to ignore me? I mean, based on my experience, that's a possibility. So I think you really need to think about how you handle yourself, not just with whatever customer service or whatever, but how you approach people and how you do business with people. It's really not that hard to just email somebody back and say, look, we're no longer interested, or even like a canned response would be fine. I mean, you don't even have to take the time to write it. But if you're gonna, take on these practices where you send out these kind of blind emails, and then just when you get information, when somebody takes the time to respond back, then you look, then you decide to take the look and see who this person is, and then you say yay or nay. I don't want to do this work with this person because they don't have a big enough audience, or whatever the reason is. just let them know. And just to turn it around, from my perspective, somebody that gets these proposals or these, you know, requests to do a partnership on a video or whatever, like I said, not all of them work for me, but I don't just ignore them. I let them know. I said, look, I'm sorry, this product doesn't really fit my brand, or it's not something my audience is interested in. Like I was approached to do something with, it was a service that did, it was like a logo maker type tool where you go and you can build a logo for dirt cheap and everything like that. And I'm like, yeah, well, my audience, most of my audiences, they are creatives or designers, whatever. So a lot of them are probably making their own logo, and the people that aren't, you know, to me, it's really important. I don't want to get too much off in a tangent, but it's more, there's more to a logo than just kind of a logo type and a little icon there. So, and that's kind of what this company did. So I said, yeah, it really just doesn't fit my brand. I said, the only thing, they wanted me to do a dedicated video. I said, I can't really do a dedicated video. The only thing I could do is maybe do like a list video talking about the different ways you can, you know, either commission a logo or whatever, and that would be probably at the end of the list saying, look, if you have like hardly any money at all and you just need something and you're not really concerned about all the things that really are important with the logo, then this may be sort of a, you know, this may be like a final option or something that you could do if that's your only option. But you know, of course, that's probably not something that they wanted to do, and that's understandable. So, but anyway, so these don't all work for me, but at least I respond and I say, you know, this, yeah, I'm just not gonna work. I just don't ignore them. And I try to respond to everyone that contacts me, whether it's through YouTube or whatever. I try to respond to all my YouTube comments. Sometimes things get lost or whatever. If people, like Facebook, I'm not always on Facebook. I don't always get the alerts, but even sometimes if it's late, and if you've ever sent me something I didn't respond, send it again through maybe YouTube or email or something, because sometimes on Instagram I don't always see them or whatever, but I do, honestly, if I see a message, I do try to get back to people. And there may be a time where if the channel gets big enough, I know a lot of people have bigger YouTube channels, it's not feasible to do that, but if I can, I'm going to try to get back to you. So as I mentioned before, this incident with the superhero thing, company or whatever, it happened a while back. So why am I bringing it up now? Well, this seems to be, you know, sort of a thing that a lot of people do. So since then, I've had a few more of these just come across my email box, and kind of the same thing. I was just like, so last week I was approached by another company, it was like an Amazon seller, and they wanted, again, they said they like the videos and all this stuff, and they wanted to do another partnership. They had a line of photography equipment. Now, I'm not really a photographer, but I have done stuff with photography before because I do have an online store and I like to take pictures and stuff. And but they had like a cool little like photo box and everything, and some lights and everything. And and this was like perfect timing. I may have not done this before, but this is perfect timing for me because Black Friday was kind of around the corner, and I'm like, I've got these new products that I'm working on, these like lab provisions and everything that I need to shoot, and I need to get up on my store. So this would be perfect. I'd like to try this thing out. So again, I took the time to come up with an idea for a video and all this stuff, and send it back to them saying, look, this is perfect timing for me. I've got some products I want to shoot. Your product looks like it'd be perfect for this, the lights and the photo box. I'd like to give it a try, and I'll do a video on it. Send it back, nothing. I usually respond a couple times, responded again, nothing. I think I waited a week, and then at this point I was ready. Again, Black Friday, Cyber Week, all that kind of stuff is coming up. I got to take pictures of this stuff, and I already have a photo box, so it's not like I needed this thing, but it would have worked for, you know, for a review and everything. So I emailed them one more time. I said, look, I got these things, I want to shoot them. This would work really great. Send it out, no response at all. Again, and I keep having to remind you about this, that they are contacting me. I'm not reaching out to them. And it, you know, so it's just the most bizarre thing, but this continues to happen to me. So I think I'm at kind of just the point where I'm gonna just have some kind of a canned thing saying, look, my name is Scott, this is my videos, these are my videos, if you wanna check them out, if you wanna see if you're actually serious about doing something, let me know. But other than that, I would get too many of these things and people just do not respond. I need to figure out something to do with that, but this is sort of a thing, I guess. If you are a small YouTuber, I just kind of want this to be a warning to you. But like I said before, this isn't, you know, this is just general, you know, human decency and everything. But this tactic of just sending out these things and then not responding at all, it seems to be the MO of a lot of these companies. And you know, I guess it's like a common business practice, and I just think it needs to change, because it's not that hard, like I said, just to, at the very minimum, send sort of a canned response out saying, you know, yeah, we can no longer do this, or whatever you want to do. Figure out a way to do it. But you know, it's as creators, it's important for us to be professional. It's important to us to respect other people's time. As anyone doing business, not just creators. Think about it this way: as artists, a lot of times we are commissioned to do artwork for people or whatever. People, you know, they want to know, well, what would it take to do this particular project or whatever. And then sometimes you email them back, and if you've been doing this is, you know, this is going to be very familiar. But you'll email somebody back and then you never hear back from them. You'll give them a price or whatever. And you know, sometimes I guess people get sticker shock or whatever, and you know, so they just ignore it. But if you, instead of just ignoring it, if you just email the artist back or email the person back and said, you know, look, you know, this really isn't in my budget, but I do appreciate your time. I'm sorry to bother you. Something like that. That goes a long way. Because, you know, the thing is, people get embarrassed. You know, they don't want to come back and like, oh, I didn't know this was going to be so expensive, whether it's expensive or not, but to whatever the person is, it may just not be in their price range or whatever. And so they feel a little embarrassed, and they don't take the time to say, yeah, this is, sorry, it's out of my price range, didn't mean to bother you. They just rather ignore it. But would you rather be a little embarrassed, or would you rather come across as somebody who's a flake, or somebody who doesn't mind wasting people's time, or is just a jerk? I mean, I'd rather be a little embarrassed, because that's what people think. When you know, hit somebody up and you ask them about a project, and then they just vanish, disappear off the face of the earth, the person on the other end is like, this person's useless. You know, you know, this isn't how you do this. You know, it's like, so it definitely leaves a bad taste in your mouth when people do that. But it happens all of the time, and it's just you know, it's part of being, you know, being a professional artist. I mean, you deal with this kind of stuff over and over again, and I guess you kind of get used to it. But it just doesn't seem like it needs to be that way. I mean, people just need to have a little more respect. Because, you know, making a living off of art it's not always that easy. And when you do get a message for somebody who sounds like they want to work with you, you know, you get that feeling like, oh, this is cool, you know, yeah, this could be a good thing. So you respond back and do all this stuff, and then they vanish. You know, you just don't know where you stand, you know. But if they were to say, yeah, I can't do, if you were to just to get a definite no, then you can move on. You don't have to worry about it. Because otherwise we're thinking, well, this thing might happen. Should I worry about maybe leaving time in my schedule? Should I focus on this? Should I move on to something else? But you just don't, if people don't give you that information, you could maybe still be counting on this or thinking it's still a possibility, where if it would be wonderful if somebody just says, yeah, sorry, I can't, we just can't do it. But that hardly ever happens. They just disappear, you know, and you know, what do you do with that? Bottom line, if you want to be a professional artist, otherwise, just treat people like you would like to be treated. Treat people like, you know, be a decent human being. Don't waste people's time. You know, be respectful, and, you know, show your company in the best light. And don't, you know, don't step on the little people along the way, because while I might not have a lot of subscribers now, my channel continues to grow, and there may be a point down the line where I may be in that I may have that audience that you're looking for, and at that point, if you've already treated me like garbage, I'm not gonna, I have no interest in working with you. You've already shown your true colors. So yeah, I would say just remember these 3 things: be professional, be responsive, and be somebody that people would like to work with, and I think you'll do really well as a creative professional. And yeah, so that's a little bit another rant for you. Anyway, yeah, I did want to mention one more time, I do have my my comic maker starter kit. It's doing real well. It's all you have to do is go to my website. It's totally free. It comes with brushes, templates, word balloons, all kinds of cool stuff, fonts. Totally free. You just join my mailing list, and the mailing list is pretty cool too. There's a lot of, like right now, I'm just sending out, in addition to the stuff on my website right now, if you're watching this right now, there's, I think, 20% off everything in on my online store. And with the newsletter, I just sent out, and for the people on the newsletter, additional 15%, so that's like a total of 35%, I think, if my math is correct. So there's that, and also there's exclusive content. Like I just did another video exclusively for the people on the newsletter. So if you like this kind of stuff, there's more to it there. Totally free. Just go to my website at serkworks.com and check that out, and get yourself the mad science. I got mad science in the brain. Get yourself the comic maker starter kit. Maybe I should come up with a mad science starter kit. I wonder what that would be like. I'll have to think about that. But while I think about that, you guys go, have a great day, and check out the starter kit, and I will see you guys later. That is all. Hey everyone, thanks for joining me here in the Art Lab. There's a lot of other great content on the channel, so click that subscribe button and you won't miss a thing. If you're an aspiring evil genius, visit Serkworks.com for all your mad science supply needs. And if you want to contact me, hit me up in the comments section or follow me on social media. I'm looking forward to it. I'll see you then.